Hi, everybody. Welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name's Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here on Channel 59.3 BPOD TV and Roku. Big news today. Justin Fields is mad at Matt Nagy. What do you know? It's not a surprise. We'll break it all down in just a second. Before we get started, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of the show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. If you want to watch more shows from the BPOD TV network, search up BPOD TV on YouTube. I want to start today with this. Everybody has a problem with Matt Nagy. It's true, right? Everybody. Fans, media now, all of a sudden. Quarterbacks, Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles even. Players. Jordan Howard, Anthony Miller, Allen Robinson. We could go on and on and on about how many people have come out and expressed their displeasure with Matt Nagy, and yet, as we sit here today, is another job, another team may even take over, according to some reports, for Andy Reid when he retires. I don't know what makes him qualified to take over for Andy Reid, or what makes him qualified to even have another job on the table, but nevertheless, he's there. And that's the reality we have to live with. And I hate bringing this up all the time about Matt Nagy and these reports that come out, but nobody else will, frankly. Everyone's so worried about the Bears, new direction, free agents, draft picks, and I get it, and I'm worried about it too. But you know what? Nobody held Matt Nagy accountable while he was here in Chicago. That's a fact. All these reports come out after he gets fired. Then there's this big athletic report. Give me a break. This has been known, but not publicized, for about 2 or 3 years. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody cares about it because they didn't want to disrupt the narrative that was being painted about the Bears, about Mitch Trubisky, about Matt Nagy. Got to remember, a lot of this stuff was kept quiet, so if Nagy got fired, he could find another job. But everybody inside league circles knew. Writers knew. The press knew. Bears front office knew. And Matt Nagy certainly knew. It's just so funny, the amount of people that covered for him and tried to save his career, to me, is ridiculous. And that's an indictment on everybody around the Bears, whether it be media, whether it be front office, whether it be some players to an extent. The amount in which they covered for him and made the media paint this picture of an offensive genius, offensive guru, is ridiculous. It's wrong. Factually wrong. A false narrative was painted of Matt Nagy. Made him look like this great offensive mind, but in reality, he tanked people's careers. And we know this. This is not news to anybody. But now we have new reports from Justin Fields' private quarterbacks coach saying that Fields was not happy with how Nagy coached him. Here's a quote from Pro Football Talk. Ron Veal, a private quarterback coach who has worked with Fields since Fields was in 6th grade, said that Fields hated the game plan the Bears had installed for him for his first start, the 26-6 loss to the Browns. Quote, "It was bad," Veal said. "He took a beating that day. It's kind of crazy and weird at the same time. I know he was a little pissed about it, but I didn't get an explanation. And I really didn't ask because I know he was in a situation where he was really pissed off about it." Interesting. So Fields was pissed at Matt Nagy for throwing him to the wolves. You know, this is actually pretty funny. Everybody said put in Fields right away, put him in right away. Right? We all talked about this last year. This was the big story here in Chicago. I was criticized for saying he should wait. He should sit, learn the offense, and most importantly, not be thrown into a situation where there's nobody there to protect him. And of course, I was laughed at. You don't like Justin Fields. You're a Fields hater. You want Andy Dalton to succeed. Why would I want some one-year backup quarterback, bridge quarterback to succeed? I don't care about that. I want the Bears to have a franchise quarterback, so those explanations were wrong, plainly. I wanted Justin Fields to have the best opportunity to succeed. That's all I wanted. I wanted Justin Fields to have a competent team around him so he wouldn't get scarred, so his ego wouldn't collapse. His confidence, his self-esteem as a quarterback in the NFL. You know how it is. Look at your jobs. Look at what you do. I'm sure sometimes you make a mistake. And you think to yourself, hey, am I cut out for this? Am I good at this? Well, imagine being a rookie. Imagine being at your job week 1, week 2, and you're thrown into the fire. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to think, I'm not cut out for this. I need to go. What about Justin Fields? First ever start as an NFL quarterback, and that's the reception he gets, getting sacked 9 times, and Matt Nagy calling what looked to be a joke of a game plan. He was brought in, Nagy, to develop a quarterback, and he failed with Trubisky. You could blame it on his skill set, blame it on limitations, blame it on Ryan Pace, but the fact is, Matt Nagy came in knowing his job was to develop Mitch Trubisky. Didn't work. They gave him another chance with another highly touted rookie quarterback. Didn't work there too. Just goes to show Matt Nagy is not who he says he is. It's not who the media says he is either. We have proof here. You know, I thought as a coach, your goal was to help out your players, not put them in situations where they're going to get hurt. It's like a dad and his kid, right? The dad's never going to put his kid in a situation where he just knows he's going to be hurt. The dad will look out for his kid, no matter what. I had coaches myself tell me, you guys are like my kids. We're talking about Little League ball. Baseball, even college ball, same thing. You'd have to think in the NFL, no matter what, these coaches want to look out for their players, for their 53 players on their roster. Nobody did for Justin Fields. Nobody looked out for him. Fans thought they were looking out for him by saying, oh, put him in over Andy Dalton, but in reality, Andy Dalton should have been the one in that game getting sacked 9 times, not Justin Fields. We can all agree on that. A lot of people were wrong when it came to rushing Justin Fields. Just admit it, you were wrong. The Bears should have waited to put him in, and they didn't. And now look what we see. Quote, he took a beating that day. It was kind of crazy and weird at the same time. I know he was a little pissed about it, but I never got an explanation, and I really didn't ask. Because I know he was in a situation where he was really pissed off about it. Hell yeah, I'd be pissed too. Hey, first start, Cleveland Browns. Oh, we score 6 points. The game plan's horrible, and I got sacked 9 times. Hell yeah, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be livid, not pissed. And I can only imagine what happened after that game behind closed doors that we're never going to find out about. Or maybe we will in 5 years when the reporters decide to share the information. We all know about Matt Nagy's track record, about what he's done, his accomplishments in the NFL. It's a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing. He rode Andy Reid's coattails, came to the Bears, was told, hey, develop this quarterback, didn't work. Blamed it on the quarterback successfully. Then, develop a new quarterback, didn't work there either. Now he's fired, and it turns out he may take over for Andy Reid. I guess failing upward? I was always taught life is a meritocracy. That's what I was always taught and raised on. Got to work hard and you got to prove yourself to earn more. To be given that promotion, to be given a new job. Got to show it. Can't just be handed to you, or even worse yet, you can't fail and then get something more. If you fail, you get demoted or you get fired. I've rarely seen somebody fail and just keep going up. Keep stepping up the ladder after failing here, failing there, failing with this quarterback, with that quarterback. But yet Matt Nagy is a living testament to that strategy, I guess. And I don't blame Justin Fields, by the way, either, at all. This is something we clearly agree on, me and him and everybody else watching. We know this. Everybody knows this. I was pissed. I was pissed watching that game. Not only because of Fields' lack of performance, but most importantly, because there was no game plan for him. None. There was no movement of the pocket. There was no utilizing his legs. It was pocket passing for a quarterback which you know can run the football. And he got killed because he couldn't leave the pocket, which meant he got sacked. That game plan would have been perfect for Andy Dalton. Why wasn't he out there taking 9 sacks? How did it have to be Justin Fields, a rookie, in his first game in the NFL? Never got an explanation. Never will, either. Even Fields' coach never got an explanation. He said it. I know he was a little pissed, but I didn't get an explanation. Yes, he didn't get one. Nobody did. It just happened. Talk about a great way to protect your young rookie quarterback whom you traded up for, whom you gave up a first-round pick in this year's draft to get. Got to talk about protecting assets here. Remember, every player you have on a team is an asset. Not just a player, not just a name, it's an asset. Commodity. It could be traded, could be used to help out your team win. The Bears should have protected him better in that game and all year, really. He took way too many sacks, Justin Fields. What I hate, too, is the narrative that it was all on him. No, it wasn't. Sometimes he had less than a second to throw the football. There was just an edge blitz, and right away he was taken down. Not his fault. Article concludes saying, quote, in a tough rookie season, Nagy took most of the blame compared to Fields. In year 2, the Bears badly need Fields to be able to thrive in this new offense. Okay. Where was this thought process before Justin Fields? Non-existent. To Matt Nagy's credit, I'll give him credit. He successfully deflected blame to Mitch Trubisky, to Chuck Pagano, to Allen Robinson this past year. To his credit, he successfully deflected blame to other people who either got fired or were forced to move on because of him. But now, see, when you draft a brand new quarterback who's supposed to be great, 11th overall pick, now there's a problem. Where was this problem 2 or 3 years ago? Why did it have to be till now? I'm happy we saw it, don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering why now it's a problem and it wasn't before. And those aren't answers we'll probably ever get. Or really, the truth is, Nagy did a good job at controlling the media, controlling the coverage surrounding him. That's all that goes into it. He controlled the media. He controlled what kind of narrative was concocted and posted. And it worked to his benefit. And it helped him out finding another job and staying in the NFL. And that's fine. I get it. You want to look out for yourself. But you know what? It's a problem when you're looking out for yourself and you take down other people in your path. That's where I draw the line. There's nothing wrong with looking out for yourself, looking out for your family. I got no problem with that. But looking out for yourself, coinciding with other people losing jobs, losing money, losing opportunities, having their name slandered across the press, well, then we have a problem. And Matt Nagy did that to a number of people and players within the Bears organization for years. Not even just Mitch Trubisky. Again, Chuck Pagano, Allen Robinson, Harry Hiestand, offensive line coach, one of the best in football, fired. What did he have to do with that? I was back at Notre Dame, rightfully so. I don't blame Justin Fields, and I'm happy this was reported on. He should be pissed. He should be pissed off with the Bears' game plan in his first start, and in every start thereafter, not just the first one. There was no support for him. Gets me so passionate because the Bears claimed, they touted, we drafted somebody, we drafted a quarterback, we traded up, he's going to be the guy. You can't tell me he's going to be the guy and then have no way to help him out. I would take that personally. It's all PR. It's all a scam. Really. They know what they're doing. They engage the fan base. They post up on social media, get everybody riled up. There was no reason to last year. There was no reason for Justin Fields to play at all. I'm being serious. Look at those numbers. I think Fields would have benefited more from not playing than dealing with that. And you knew the coach was going to be fired. Now he has to learn a new offense all over again. It's a wash. It's a fresh start. Why even play him and subject him to that misery, subject him to injuries, subject him to the problems that he had to face? I know we can't change the past, and that's fine. I'm not saying that everybody was wrong or come bow down because I was right. That's not the issue. But the problem is, Justin Fields has every right to be pissed. Bears fans do too. And he was used incorrectly last year. Yes. And it's just a shame. It's a shame. The Bears traded up. This guy was hyped up, and now look what happened to him. I'm not saying he can't recover from this, but that's a long way you got to recover. From that dysfunctional coach screwing you, 7 touchdowns, 10 picks, 11 fumbles, no offensive line, no weapons. And it may even be like that again this year. The only difference is hopefully you got Luke Getsy, who knows a little bit more about the offense. That's it, though. That's scary. There have been a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL who were talented, highly talented, didn't work because of the system, because of a coach, because of a team, breaking them. I really hope that doesn't happen to Justin Fields. And that's concerning. And for the Bears, this is a bad look. This report, bad look. You know why? They chose Matt Nagy to coach Justin Fields. So they have their franchise quarterback already unhappy. Year 2, they're unhappy already. That is scary. That's extremely scary. Your franchise guy whom you tout, whom you throw out there, public relations and social media, he's unhappy. Because you guys screwed him year 1. And if I know athletes and how contracts work in the future, Fields will not forget this. Look at the Cubs and Chris Bryant. Bryant left. Why? One of the reasons, the Cubs manipulated his service time. And they screwed him out of a lot of money in 2015. And there were reports that stated, Bryant will never forget this. Scott Boras will never forget this. What about here? Think Justin Fields is happy with how last year played out? No, we have a report that says so, but even just in general, no. Think he's happy with 7 touchdowns, 10 picks, 11 fumbles, Matt Nagy coaching him and screwing him and sabotaging him like he did amidst Trubisky or Allen Robinson or other players, Anthony Miller? No. And that's the thing that scares me. You're already pissing off your franchise quarterback, your new franchise quarterback, the guy whom everybody likes, everybody adores, whom everybody thinks will be the savior. That is scary. My hope is that Justin Fields could forgive the Bears for what happened last year, but the only way that happens is if this new regime caters to him. No matter what, though. Last year was not pretty. Last year is something you can't just forget and move on with. It's going to take some time for Justin Fields. That was damaging, what happened to him. So I hope he forgives the Bears. I hope the Bears apologize to him, too. And as for Matt Nagy, did they say, I don't understand, nor know, nor can explain how he has a job, how he's still allowed to be around NFL players, even college players, high school players, doesn't matter. How's he allowed to be around football after what he did? When you're brought in as a supposed quarterback guru and you sabotage Mitchell Trubisky and Justin Fields, and Nick Foles even complained about Matt Nagy. I'm not a fan of Nick Foles, but you know what? He complained too. How are you allowed to keep a job in the National Football League? Has to be connections, obviously. As I said earlier, I was raised to believe in a meritocracy. I was raised to believe if you do good work, you're rewarded. If you do bad work, you're fired. And I guess in Matt Nagy's case, he doesn't fit that mold. He's done bad work. He's hurt players, coaches, personnel, people around him. And today he still has a job. Well, other guys, like Mitch Trubisky, like Chuck Pagano, are still hoping to stay around the game. Are still fighting to clear their name, even. That isn't right to me. So, I would hope that the Bears just find a way to cater to Justin Fields and make sure that this whole saga, at some point, could be forgotten. Thanks for watching today's show here at BPOD TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Really appreciate the time. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook, Jon Zaghloul. You can watch more of this show. Search up Sports Talk Chicago on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and sportstalkchicago.com. And tune in right here every night at 10:30 on BPOD TV. So long, everyone.